Hi everyone, how's it all going? And in this video I'm going to be ranking every single Beyblade X Bay. So this is a lot harder than it looks because you think, I'm going to put this Beyblade here, but you get other ones where you think, I don't know where to put it. So I'll be ranking them based on a few things such as performance, design, anime presence. Shout out to Blue13 as well for making this tier list. I'll put the link down in the description below, make sure to check it out. And without further ado, let's get a rank in the bays. So first up we've got Cobalt Drake. For me, this is an A tier bay. I think it's very good. Probably not good enough to be S tier, and that's because it's going to set you back a lot of money. It is a rare bay, get battle bay. I've got a fake one, I don't have a real one. But it is a painted blade, it is very heavy. And it's a cool one. If you can get it for the collection, it's amazing. Like if we're talking about collector's items, it's S, but the bay itself, it's a solid bay, an A tier release. Next up we've got Dran Sword. For me, this is a B tier. I think it's a solid attack type. It's been outclassed now, but it's a solid one. It's got a good anime presence. Yeah, definitely B tier. I don't want to take too long as well when I'm ranking them because I do have a lot of them to get through. Next up we've got Hell Scythe, and a bit like Dran Sword, when this first came out it would definitely be up here. But it has been outclassed a lot now, even though Bird did get his first point in the anime with Hell Scythe, which is cool. But I'm going to put it in B tier. I think it's a B tier bay these days. Wizard Arrow was the first XP I got, and I'm going to put it in B tier. I actually like Wizard Arrow quite a bit, so I'm going to put it in B tier. Same with Night Shield. So a lot of defense types in Beyblade X get a bad rep because they haven't been amazing. But considering Night Shield was the first one, it's better than a good chunk of them, so for me it's a B tier. Transer, I'm going to have to put it in the C tier. I think it's a cool idea, but the execution isn't great. It's performance wise I've got it and it just isn't too good. It's too light, it's difficult to make plastic gens into X bays. The struggle with burst as well. It's just hard to make plastic good in Beyblade. Night Lance, ooh, I don't know. I think I'm going to put it in C tier because as much as it's a decent bay and it's quite a fun one to use because of its recoil, I just don't think I can put it in B tier, and that's because it came so soon after Night Shield and it's not much better really. If anything, I'd argue defensively Night Shield's better than Night Lance, so I'm going to put Night Lance in C tier. I'm going to put Shark Edge in A tier, and that's because I love the bay. It's got a great design. It's a prize bay, but you can get it for just £7 now. You can get it anywhere. You can get it in Games, Smith's, Entertainer, Walmart in America. It's a good bay. It's a very solid release. It's a good attack type, a good one for the collection. And I love the episode in the anime when you actually get to see more about Maiden. I might do a separate tier list where I just look at anime characters. But at the moment I'm going to just stick to the bays. But yeah, Shark Edge for me, A tier. This one has a cool design. I probably overhyped it a bit at the time because it was different. But Leon Claw, it's amazing in the anime, but it just isn't too great in real life, unfortunately. It's not as good as Hell Scythe in terms of a balanced type. Hell Scythe was more competitive and it's just average really, performance wise. Viper Tail, it's another bay that's average performance wise. Random booster select bay, but you can get it in the double pack now. It's decent. I like the details on the blades. Features a couple times in the anime. Yeah, B tier. Rhino Horn. You see, I actually like Rhino Horn, but unfortunately its performance isn't too great. It's just like Night Lance. It's fun, it's got recoil, it will go a bit crazy, but unfortunately it's just too light and it's not big enough to be like a defense type in my opinion. It's just way too light and it's outclassed in all departments. But I think fair enough me putting it C tier. I could put it D. But what I'm going to do is, I don't even know if I'm going to keep the D tier. I don't know if maybe it's too much tiers, but I'll see at the end. But yeah, I'm going to put Rhino Horn in C. Dran Dagger, for me, that's an A tier bay. The Rush bit is the best bit in Beyblade X. It's a very good bit. Dran Dagger as a whole is a solid bay as well. It's a good one to get. You can get it in the Hasbro Stadium set now as well, so there's lots of ways of getting this bay now. It's a good bay. I definitely recommend you get it A tier. Plus Exu in the anime is one of the main characters, so getting his bays is important. Speaking of, these two bays came out at the same time. Speaking of main anime characters, Hell's Chain. It's okay. It's not the best bay in the world, not the worst. It's not really an upgrade on Hellscythe in my opinion. It's arguably, I'd argue the blade isn't as good, but very similar though. Decent bay, not the best, not the worst. Phoenix Feather is just a modified Dran Sword. It's got a cool episode in the anime though where everyone's got a Phoenix Feather. Thought that was interesting. But yeah, slightly modified Dran Sword. You get it in the Koro Koro magazine, just the blade though. But if you want the rest of the parts, you can either get the random booster or you can get the double pack with a Viper Tail where you get the red Dran Sword. So there's a couple ways to get the rest of the parts. Phoenix Wing, do I have to say much more? S tier. Painted blades, brilliant Beyblades. One of the best, super heavy. I know it sounds like I'm just glazing Phoenix Wing, but it is one of the best bays. You need to pick up Phoenix Wing. You can get it in Hasbro as well, so you can get it out and about now. Definitely one of the best, if not the best release in Beyblade X so far. This one on the other hand though, Wyvern, it's unfortunate because I like the design, but the performance just isn't great. It bursts too much. It's unfortunate. It's a random booster prize bay, so you'd have to spend quite a bit initially if you wanted to get it, but you can get it in the 2-pack with a Gold Viper now. Plus you can also get it in the Phoenix Rudder set, but I just don't think performance-wise I can put it any higher than C. It's unfortunate. Next up we've got Unicorn Sting. This is a B tier. I think it's a very solid bay. Solid in all departments, typical balance type. I like Unicorn Sting, and it's nice that we're getting a Unicorn bay because it's a nice little nod back to Unicorno. Sphinx Cowl, I don't really know what to think about this bay to be honest. In my opinion, Sphinx Cowl is one of the forgotten bays. Zonomorphs in the anime with his riddles, cool character I suppose. Like they could develop him, but I don't know. I'm going to put it in C tier because the bay itself isn't great and it's not one where you look at it and think, oh, you must get Sphinx Cowl for your collection. Ram Buster, I'm going to put it in A tier. It's very much a one-trick pony. Like, it's very good at smash attacks, but other than that, if it doesn't get the KO, it's just going to run out of stamina. But it is very good. It's a very good release. I'd recommend you get this one. I love the detail on it. It looks like Excalibur. Ram Buster for me. Yeah, you need to get it for your collection. Hell's Hammer, solid as well. Not as good as Dram Buster in my opinion, but I think it's a solid release. It's a UX base, so it's pretty good and better than pretty much all the bays down here in terms of performance, I'd say. It's a cool design as well, so it's got to be an A tier, even though Bird hasn't won with it yet. But I mean, Pacoon did in when they had the battle. Pacoon actually beat Bird as well with his own bay, which isn't ideal for Bird, but I suppose he's going to get a better run in Season 2, hopefully they're going to give him some more wins. Falling over my words a bit there, but Wizard Rod, that's the other S tier release in my opinion. I say in my opinion, it's just a fact, it's a brilliant Beyblade. Fair enough, the stock can be a bit iffy, I did notice that, but if you change up the stock combo, you're laughing. It's insane, very hard bay to beat, super competitive, you need it for your collection. This next one, tell me Tyranno B isn't Terry from Dinosaur King. Just tell me that isn't Terry from Dinosaur King. I really want this bay because of that, and I love the blade, I think it's great. The Quake bit though isn't the best, but it's a fun bit to have. It's an A tier bay, it's heavy, it's got good attack power, and I like it a lot, so Tyranno B, one of the best bays, needs to be an A tier. Drigger, same as Dranza really, it's nice to have remakes, but at the same time, I just don't think the execution's that good with them, unfortunately. They just can't compete. This one's super underwhelming, and it's disappointing because why is this bay so bad? Like, it should be better. Shinobi Shadow should be right up here because design-wise and Queen's a cool character in the anime. It should be right up here, but unfortunately, it's a C tier. It's too light. It's just not good. Like, why is it not good? It's way too light, doesn't perform well. Super underwhelming, they should have made it better, it's so unfortunate, but Shinobi Shadow is a C tier. Next up we've got Wise Tiger, and for me this is very similar to Unicorn Sting. Solid in all departments, typical balance type. However, I do like Wise Tiger's anime presence a little bit more than Unicorn Sting, because you see it more, and I like Shigeru. I think she's a cool character. Yeah, good bay, very solid bay. I'm not going to put it in A tier because I think performance wise it isn't good enough to be there. but it is one of the best bays in terms of anime presence, and I like it a lot. So Wise Tiger, very good B tier bay, I definitely recommend it. Cobalt Dragoon for me, I know you could say S tier, but considering it's the first left spinning bay and I had a lot of hype, I'm just going to put Cobalt Dragoon at the top of A. I just don't think it's got enough to be an S tier bay, but it is a very strong release, and that episode where, well, the second final episode where it's Chrome versus Exu in the anime, or Common X, that's one of the best battles in X. I love it a lot, Cobalt Dragoon, but I just don't think it's good enough to be S tier. I think performance wise it just isn't as insane as I thought it'd be. But still, it's a very strong bay, right up there with the best. It's got to be an A tier at least. Next up we've got Black Shell. For me, I love the design on Black Shell, I like Common Z, but unfortunately a bit like Shinobi Shadow in Wyvern, I don't think the performance is as good as it should be. Unfortunately, it's too light, especially considering it's a defense type, so I can't put it in A tier even though I'd love to. I want to get this one though because I love the design. It'd be nice if I could speak. And B tier for Black Shell. Unfortunately, I'd like it to be better, but it's too light. You can get away with having it on an attack combo. It's very similar to Rhino Horn. I'd say it's this year's Rhino Horn. A fun bay to have. I like the design, good anime presence, but just isn't good enough to be up there. One bay that is good enough to be up there though is Leon Crest. It's by far the best defense type. Super thick, super tanky, can tank hits. It's the upgrade to Leon that we've always wanted. It really is. We've really wanted a good Leon bay, and this one just ticks all the boxes. I love Leon Crest, and I can't wait to see more of it in Season 2. This is a must get. You definitely need to get it. Phoenix Rudder, stamina type, not as good as Phoenix Wing, but I'm going to put it in A tier because I think it's a good bay. It's a good one to get in the set. If you get the Phoenix Rudder set, you can get Phoenix Rudder, Sphinx Cowl and Wyvern Gale, so you can take both of these off. I need to get the Phoenix Rudder set actually. But yeah, A tier, good bay. Not quite S tier. Aero Pegasus is very similar to Cobalt Drake. In fact, I like the design a little bit more. It ticks the boxes for what you want from a rare bay get battle bay in terms of it has a unique design. It looks cool, it's something you want to try for, but it's not so good to the point where you need it in order to be good in the meta, so it's an A tier bay. Oh, this one, I like this one a lot. Whale Wave, I've ordered this one. Originally, my original order for Whale Wave got cancelled from AliExpress due to shipment issues, but I've got it coming in the mail and it's an A tier bay for me. It's quite thick, just like Leon Crest. And Grand Cetus, I know this is nostalgia again, but Grand Cetus was my first ever Beyblade, so I want to have Whale Wave in my collection, and I think it's a very good release. I like it a lot, and Maiden is going to use it as well in the anime, so I'll put it next to Shark Edge. Maiden has some good bays, I can't lie, Whale Wave and Shark Edge. This remake is actually the best remake I think they've done in X so far. Lightning El Drago, it can actually compete with some X bays unlike a lot of the plastic gens. I watched Beyblade Geeks' video where it battled against Cobalt Dragoon, and it did fairly well. It's by far the most mainstream Beyblade as well, El Drago. You see a lot of people making videos about Ryuga and Metal Fight. El Drago, the Lightning and El Drago remake, it's an A tier. Silver Wolf hasn't been released yet, even though we are starting to get some things leaked, and it is fairly heavy. It has a free spinning ratchet. I'm not going to rank it though, same with Samurai Saber, and same with the anniversary set bays, because they just haven't been released yet, so I can't really give a good ranking in my opinion. Tusk Mammoth, I like the fact Hasbro going for something different and they're giving us some different motifs, but performance wise it isn't great unfortunately, so it's got to be in C tier. Tusk Mammoth. Knife Shinobi, very similar to Tusk Mammoth. In fact, this does actually appear in the anime, and funny enough, even though it is just a modified Rhino Horn, when it appears in the anime it's before Pan gets Rhino Horn, so maybe it's the chicken and the egg situation where maybe this came before Rhino Horn in the anime, but even though the bay itself came after Rhino Horn, it very much is the chicken and egg situation. But it was Queen's original bay, so I suppose it's cool for that, but it's no better than C tier. Steel Samurai, slightly modified Leon Claw, decent release. Same with Talon Terror. I've got Talentera. I think they're decent releases. Nice, not too expensive. You can get them in shops because they're Hasbro. Yeah, decent bears. These ones are interesting. These are the collabs they've done with Transformers, and they've done them with Star Wars, they've done them with Marvel. And yes, they are just modified versions of pre-existing bears, and they're not going to set the meta alight. But I think it's clever marketing, because you might get Transformers fans, Star Wars fans, and Marvel fans who otherwise wouldn't actually want anything to do with Beyblade. They might look at Beyblade and think, actually, I might give it a go, because they've got some of my favourite characters. So then they'll go buy these bears, and then they might be more likely to buy one of the other bears. So I think it's cool to see them branch out and try something different. So I'm going to put all of these bears in B. I think it's the fun bears to have in your collection. A bit like the Hello Kitty bear in Beyblade Burst. They're not needs. You don't need them in order to be good, but it's nice to see them do something different. So I'm going to put the collab bears in the middle, B tier. Bike Croc. You see, I actually like Bike Croc a lot. It's a modified shark edge. I might be a bit biased though, because I've got a stainless steel crocodile ring that I wear, so it kind of feels like a bear I need to get, and you can get it in the 2-pack with Unicorn Sting as well, even though it is slightly modified. If I see this in the stores, we need Wave 2 to drop in England. Once it does, I'm going to get myself Bike Croc. But am I going to put it A tier? I think maybe that's pushing it a little bit. I think B tier for Bike Croc. I think it's a good remake. I like it. I like that one a lot. Yell Kong, the same. I think Yell Kong's decent. B tier. Tyranno Roar. So Tyranno Roar is just a modified Phoenix Wing, but design-wise, it isn't as good as Phoenix Wing, is it? I know this might be a bit harsh having Phoenix in S, and do I put Tyranno Roar in B, or do I kind of have to put it in A because I've got Phoenix Wing so high? That's interesting. But the thing is though, I don't want to put it higher than Wise Tiger or Black Shell, because I just like Wise Tiger and Black Shell a lot more. But to be fair, design wise, I actually like those two bears and a good few things in A, so no, it's got to be an A tier because it is just a slightly modified Phoenix Wing, and Phoenix Wing is an insane bear, and this is a good one to get for your collection. Plus you can make a whole dinosaur team. You can have Tyranno Beat, Tyranno Roar and Talentera. And finally we've got Savage Bear, which originally was a Hasbro exclusive, but actually we're going to get it in the stadium set with Takara Tomy, so that's interesting. Personally, I think, well, I'm going to put it in C. Personally, I do think it's a bit of a missed opportunity from Takara and Hasbro, because they've put Savage Bear in the stadium set and they've made all these remakes Hasbro as well, but we still don't have a Storm Mont Blanc. And Ishiyama has too much of a presence in the anime for him not to get a release, in my opinion. Storm Mont Blanc appears too many times. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. But Savage Bear, I'm going to put it next to Shinobi Knife and Rhino Horn. And that's my tier list. So, I've got nothing in D tier, I'm going to be real. I'm just going to get rid of D tier, I'm sorry. I just don't think... I think that's too many rows for me. I don't think there's any bears that I look at and think they're terrible. Don't want them anywhere near my collection. Because even the ones at the bottom look cool and they've got some solid anime presence. But yeah, that's my tier list. Feel free to give us your honest opinions on these bears in the comment section down below. Have I got this tier list right? Have I got it wrong? Please don't get butthurt if I put your favourite bear lower than you'd expect it to be. But yeah, that's my tier list. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! Do you fancy checking out one of my other videos? Just click here.